Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
Good morning and welcome to Newsline, live from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And this morning, joining Bandula Jayasekara and myself is a filmmaker extraordinaire, Chandran Ratnam. Very good morning to you, Chandran, and delighted to have you on the program.
Thank you for us, Bandula. Thank you.
And Chandran, how fares the film world in Sri Lanka? Is it as glamorous as you'd like it to be?
Well, the glamour may be there, but the practicality of it all is not so good.
Okay.
So the new government with the new chairman of the Film Corporation is revising the whole system.
Okay.
And there is a committee in force now that is deciding how we should go forward. And I think it's going to be very good. The future looks very good.
So the future looks bright. It's orange.
Yeah.
But Chandran, with all due respect, 68 years after independence, in the 69th year, what on earth are they doing reorganizing everything now? We've had 69 years to do this, and I don't know how old is the Film Corporation?
Yeah, it started soon after we got independence.
So in the 69th year, they're reorganizing everything.
Yeah, well, you know, we were government controlled. We still are government controlled.
Yeah.
The distribution systems are all done by the government. Now we are trying to make it available for everybody and privatize the entire operation.
Privatize?
Yes.
But what about the state of the cinema halls? I mean, now you see, I mean, there's an improvement in certain cinema halls, but look at the outstations. Terrible, the cinema halls. So,
well, cinema going has drastically reduced, and the reason for that is we don't have quality films. If you have a good film, people go to see it. But right now, whether a film is good or bad, we are forced to show it in the cinema. And so the system does not work.
Shouldn't the Film Corporation be scrapped?
Well, the Film Corporation with the new chairman, as I said, has come with some very good recommendations, and I am on the committee. And in a few days we are having the final meeting, and you will find a big change.
Chandran, isn't it true, sort of, that the cinema halls in this country joins the rocks alongside the beaches and the bushes along the coast, and it's only an extension of what I call the umbrella brigade for lovers? Doesn't cinema halls become a place of privacy for lovers?
Yes and no. Yes, because there is only place of refuge. Very few places.
To the common man.
Is that because
to the common man?
Yes,
to the common man. Not
is that because our society here is rather puritanical?
But let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with that. But in any way,
no, there's nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong with it. But the point is, you must go to the movies to see the movie.
Yeah.
And it has to be a good product. It's got to have the market value. If you don't, I mean, if it is good, people will go and see it. That's
but look at the state, they are not air conditioned, there's still, bugs, and I'm talking of the outstation cinema halls. There's no proper booking system. That's
Bandula, when it is privatized, it will survive. It'll compete. It'll address the market. And it's like the phone systems we have today. We have two or three different phone systems, and everyone is competing against the other, and the service is pretty good.
But Chandra, there are certain circuits. I know. I have read in the papers that you couldn't release your movie because you couldn't get through this mafia of certain circuits. Let's speak frankly about it.
Certain what? Sorry.
There are circuits like cinema, the groups, where he had this film, he couldn't release it, right? There was an issue. There's a mafia there.
See, only about 18 films can be released a year.
Why is that?
Because we don't have enough cinemas.
Okay.
Now, those 18 films. But how many are there in the line? More than 50, 60. And the line is getting long, the queue is getting longer and longer every year.
But the price of pirated DVDs are getting cheaper and cheaper. Now you can get them for about 100 rupees, but you can actually get them even cheaper.
You can, but as far as the singular film is concerned, you cannot get a pirated singular film. Because there was a case which went to court, and after that, but of course the international films are all pirated within 2 weeks of release. But let's address the singular film. Singular film, we are in a terrible dilemma. 50, 60 films in line, 18 a year. How can we survive? How can the young people get into the industry? How can new films be made? So we are going to, if it is privatized, you have to raise the quality of the product. And that is the only answer to it. And if it's a bad film, it's a bad film. You're not going to buy a bad film. You're not going to see a bad film.
And nobody wants, see, things have changed now, Chandran, but when people try to copy the Hindi and the Tamil and other Western movies, people don't want to see those. If singular movies
Mandura, there's nothing wrong with that if it's done well. You have to hold the attention of the audience. If it's a good film, as I say, if it's a good meal, you eat it. If it's not a good meal, you walk away. As simple as that.
So, tell me, Chandan, has there been a film made about, let's say, the Premadasa assassination? Key life sort of changing, history-changing events in this country. What about a film on the Rajapaksa years, perhaps?
Well, these are things I would say coming soon.
Oh, really?
The point is, it is too early for movies of that nature. Even Premadasa's assassination, it is still too early. And Bandaranaike's assassination is about time somebody did a film. But we have to do it when the political climate is safe.
But let's not forget. No, but again, let's give tribute to your good friend and the person whom we respect a lot, late Gamini Fonseca, Sagar Akmada. He produced and directed under duress, but he did it.
Well, Gamini is a unique individual. He was an absolutely wonderful man and a great filmmaker. But he had the guts to do that, and there were people to fund him. See, funding is a major issue. What happens in Sri Lanka is you get a producer, and the director sells the producer on a good idea and says he's going to make a lot of money.
Right.
But the director is only interested in awards. So the picture is an absolute failure, but it goes and gets some awards in some nondescript festival. He's very happy. He comes home and he's garlanded and he's holding his awards, and he never speaks to the producer again. And the producer has got to meet his commitment to the bank, and he goes to the poorhouse. This happens all the time. All the time.
That's the form, is it?
That's the form. So after you make a film with a producer, you don't talk to him anymore.
I see.
See, but this is, I always say, this is show business. You must also address the business aspect of it.
The commercial aspect.
Yeah, commercial aspect. If you fund my film,
Yeah.
I should be more concerned about you getting your money back.
Yeah.
Then I can come back to you and make film number 2. But it never happens. We are only concerned about the awards. We are in the award culture, and there are awards and awards and awards. You know that. So, but we are not respecting the producer, whom I refer to as the angel. These angels are disappearing very fast.
So producers can be sort of generous chaps then.
Yes, they producers.
Could be.
Yeah, could be.
For us, any idea of producing a movie?
Well, no, but I have been meaning to ask Chandan this question on the lines of you being generous. What's this? Did you give Yoshita Rajapaksa an aircraft?
Well, it is not a matter of giving. I had an old aircraft. I have a lot of old aircraft which are used for my engineering school. We have a aerospace engineering college, and there are a lot of different old aircraft lying around in my hangar at Ratmalana. And this young man saw this aircraft, and he said it's full of dust. Can I clean it up and can I exhibit it for the people?
Yeah.
And I said yes. And also remember, at that time he was the
President's son.
president's son.
But did you feel under pressure? Were you under
Not at
pressure?
all.
No?
Not at all under pressure. It was only a request.
Yeah.
And I obliged. There was no remuneration. There were no favors asked. I never saw him after that.
It's a bit like that director-producer scene.
Well,
Yeah,
could be.
because you had, it was your money,
Yeah, but,
and he was the director. He was going,
You know,
he was going to show it off.
no, that
Where did he
aircraft,
display it?
Where did he
that
display it?
aircraft was given to me
Ray
by
Vijay.
Ray Vijay. Ray was on the board of directors of my company. We were good friends. And as he got older, he left his aircraft. He donated it to the school. So we used it. We used it for exhibitions. We used it for various things. But we were busy with other duties, and it was in the corner, and it was collecting dust. So it was not a big deal for me.
Was it airworthy?
Not at all. Not at all.
So this young man couldn't get his girlfriend and then take off.
Take off in the sunset.
But
Yeah.
No,
Faraz, something
No.
very interesting. I spoke to the Air Force recently.
Yeah.
I have heard that it's with the Air Force, and
Yes.
now they can fly. They have
No.
you're sure they haven't done it? They've
You know,
done
they're
it?
all wonderful rumors, very,
Yeah.
very illustrious and
Stories.
glamorous stories. No, it's lying there in the museum.
Still,
and
Air
it
Force-
should be in the museum, and because of Ray Vijay Watner, I have no objections, but that's fine.
But if you wanted to, you could go and have it back, because it's yours.
Legally,
Yeah.
yes. But that's not the issue for me.
So tell me, with all these associations that you've had and so on with the various governments, a mature career of several years, how many governments asked you to be part of, let's say, the tourism board to promote the country? There's a lot of talk, Mahinda Rajapaksa, during his years about encouraging Sri Lanka as a location of choice for film producers from all over the world. What happened?
Well, first of all, nobody has ever asked me to be on any board or to join any campaign for Sri Lanka.
Shocking.
Yeah, I have been doing it on my own for the last 35 years.
That's
Chandan,
even
sorry to
more
interrupt.
shocking.
Not even when Sanat Gunatilaka was advisor to President Kumartunga, not even at that time.
No, I said nobody
Yeah, not-
has.
yeah.
What was he advising her on?
He was the advisor, he was very powerful at that time, Sanat. I thought he was trying to support the film industry.
More
Well,
support something else, maybe.
I won't comment on that because I don't know. I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
You don't know, right? Go on about your story.
Yeah, but we have been developing this industry. Film Location Services has brought more than 45 international films to Sri Lanka, and I was calculating the investment that was brought into Sri Lanka at that time. It's over $230 million. $230 million.
So in short, you're like a one-man walking, talking, singing, dancing, producing BOI project.
Well, that's nice. But let me tell you this. But in the last 10 years, I was unable to bring any major film into Sri Lanka during the last regime.
Why?
Because every time a film came to Sri Lanka,
Yeah.
it was usurped, it was hijacked by the president's advisors, and they ruined that business of foreign films coming to Sri Lanka because they got the government involved in it. Government had no place in the business of a private sector bringing a film to Sri Lanka, spending millions of dollars in Sri Lanka, giving jobs and education to the film fraternity.
What about all this talk about the President Rajapaksa having offered or given various Indian film stars vast tracts of land to develop the film industry? Is that all talking shop?
No.
or what?
It's like this. First of all, I must say, President Rajapaksa was a film fan.
Right.
So it was easy to sell him a bill of goods.
Right.
So his advisors, I can mention the name, Ravindra Randhania in particular,
Yeah.
took an old idea of mine,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
15-year-old obsolete idea of mine,
Okay.
and represented it to the president. And the president thought it was a wonderful idea and built that thing in Ranmitithana, which is a white elephant.
Right.
So now it's already there, so we can't complain. It's like the airport people are condemning. let's stop condemning and let's do something with
Yes,
it.
well, the Prime Minister also, our dear Prime Minister, also condemned various projects like the airport and the port. And now, several months later, 13 months later, they're confirming that they will be developing those spots into hubs and so on. And they're not only Matala, but they're also going to be building several other smaller airports around the country. So clearly, the Prime Minister is now catching on to one of Mahinda Rajapaksa's ideas. So that's how it seems to me. But we'll discuss that after this very short break. Stay tuned to Newsline. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back and good morning again. This is Faraz and Bandula, and our guest this morning is Chandran Ratnam, filmmaker extraordinaire. Tell me about Bridge on the River Kwai.
Well,
7 Academy Awards?
Yes, Bridge on the River Kwai was a movie that was made in Sri Lanka. At that time, they were looking for locations, and Don Ashton, the art director, had a family relationship with a planter, and he had been to Sri Lanka, and he recommended Sri Lanka to David Lean and Sam Spiegel, the producer, and they made the film here. 99.9% of the film was shot here, and at that time, we thought it was just another film, but it became an iconic, classical film. On every 10 Best Picture lists, you will find Citizen Kane, and you will find Bridge on the River Kwai. So it's iconic. It's something very special to film goers. Now, although the film was made and released in 1957, the DVDs and Blu-rays are available, and the new generations have watched it. So it's not an old story. It is a new story, and people who saw the movie and how fantastic it was would like to see where it was made. Now, Bollywood makes films in Switzerland, and Indian tourists flock to Switzerland to see where Shah Rukh Khan did that song or whatever. So here we have a fantastic a destination, a fantastic attraction which we are not utilizing. What I have recommended is to build the bridge again. It's a wooden bridge. It can't cost so much, and even have a museum by the side, because it is something that people will make a trip to Sri Lanka to see.
Perhaps these Dara Mudalalis will donate the wood.
Why not? Why not? It's not going to be such a major expense.
And there aren't many Dara Mudalalis either.
Well, we'll find some.
We'll find. There are people who are Dara Mudalalis who pretend to be restaurateurs and other things. But I'm sure these Mudalalis will support perhaps your...
Got any friends for us?
Huh?
We can find. In the black book we can find.
But it could have been a major tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Right now, it's already a tourist destination, Kitulgala, because of the White Rapid rafting.
Yes.
And that's a natural thing, a God-given thing.
But what about the story of they're going to destroy that?
Exactly. For 28 megawatt power plant, they want to destroy this God-given, wonderful
we must
white
stop
water rafting. But we have to stop it.
We must stop it.
And we should rebuild the bridge. Tourists already come there just to see the holes where the bridge was built on.
Yes.
Can you imagine the tourist attraction when the bridge is already there?
So it could be a bit like Kachanburi, which is the real place, but that's not the same as where the actual film was done.
Exactly. Now, Kanchanburi in Thailand has become a major tourist attraction. But even when they go there, they are disappointed because they have seen the movie and it does not reflect the movie's image of the bridge. So they are more interested in the movie image of the bridge. So just imagine, when it's available in Sri Lanka, they will flock to it. So my goodness, we must not allow this power plant to go forward.
But why have you been... What have you done? It's 30 years since this film. What have you done about it? Why haven't you led this from the front?
Well, I tried. Every time I have gone to every tourist board, every chairman, and suggested this. But, it's not easy to fight City Hall. I mean, we can try, and I have not been successful in winning with City
But
Hall.
do you think our tourist board or tourism ministry is doing enough to promote this? Or
Well,
do
this
they
to-
even understand?
Well, don't forget, this tourist board is new. We cannot jump.
No, I'm saying generally, or the past, the previous.
Yeah, they just didn't get it. They just didn't get it.
But the previous tourism people had 9 years to
Exactly. Well, they had 9 years for the film industry as well.
What were they?
Nothing was done.
What were they doing? I mean, we had one of them who's now ended up at the SEC and who's now being charged with some sort of misdemeanor or whatever you want to call it. Dr. Godeheva has crash landed. Similarly, there are other people who've had this opportunity 9 years plus, and what have they done?
Well, I don't know. In other areas, they may have done things. I don't know.
But in this area, we can't always talk about the roads and
Yeah.
the roads and the highways. And
Yeah,
the highways.
in this area, as far as the bridge and as far as the tourist attraction, the film business is such a vast business. It has such an influence in the world. Media has such an influence in this world. And we have had two of the biggest blockbusters of all time made in our country.
Indiana Jones
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. We could have built that bridge.
And now,
That's in Kandy, right? It's in Kandy.
let's take you to present day terms. Tell us, you're doing a story on the Mahatma Gandhi assassination.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called Solar Eclipse. It's a co-production between Hollywood, Sri Lanka, and Dubai.
I see.
And we are
Not
having
India.
Not India. No, investment is not from India.
Yeah,
no. But we have a lot of good Indian actors. Some of them are very well-known actors. I can't remember all the names. But one of them is a very special actor, and I'm a fan of his, Om Puri. Yeah, who did City of Joy and
Now,
several other.
why, Charan, seeing that it's such an important story, or potentially important story, and maybe even potentially controversial even, how come you haven't filmed this in India?
Well, this is about.
Would it be more original? That's what I'm trying to say.
Now, you see, that's a good question. First of all, recreating Mumbai
Yeah,
in Mumbai
it's difficult.
is very difficult.
Right.
So we can do that here. We can build sets.
Right.
Our costs are much less than in India,
Right.
and we have good workmen, and we do not have a lot of red tape
Over here.
over here. So we can. It is more of a film-friendly country
Right.
than most countries.
So do we have enough facilities in this country to do
Of
that?
course, we have. Today the technology has improved to such a vast degree that it's available whether it's in Hollywood or in Sri Lanka. We can do it.
For us, it's very interesting to add, with your permission, Chandan, that when Mother Teresa was filmed here, Calcutta was created in Nagalagam Street, and I had the opportunity of interviewing Geraldine Chaplin. Nagalagam Street in Colombo Fort.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Calcutta.
So when you make a film, you're producing it in Sri Lanka, for example. Do you have to get your script approved, or what? How does it work?
Yes. That happens in every country. That's
Right.
not unusual. You get it. You send it to the film corporation, and they approve it, and you go forward. That's not a hassle at all, and that should be so, because you don't want people to come to your country and doing something that is not.
So your script would have been approved by the Sri Lankans.
Yes, it was.
The film corporation? It's a film corporation.
Yes.
Did you ever give it to the Indians to approve? Because after all, it's their leader.
No, but we are not shooting it in India.
Right. Did you not want to? Because
No, the producers decided to make it in Sri Lanka.
Oh, right. Okay. So that's
So that's it. So there's no need to go
Same
and
thing
get-
like
And would you need the now this is about Mahatma Gandhi and so on.
It's about the conspiracy.
Yes. So what about how original is it? Have you spoken to the family and so on?
Well, I was not involved in the writing of it.
Right.
But the writers have done a lot of research, and it is a very interesting concept. Now, don't forget, every assassination, even of President Kennedy, you know, there are so many theories to that.
And President Premadasa.
And President Premadasa and President Bandanayake, Prime Minister Bandanayake. Prime Minister Bandanayake. So, behind every assassination, there are so many stories and so many theories. So, this is a theory that they put together, and it sounds very feasible.
I see. So, is this like the authorized version of the assassination?
No, it is not.
No.
There is no authorized version.
No, yes. No, but it could have been authorized if the family had said, yeah, go on.
No families will say go on on these issues.
No,
there's always some.
But there's Lal Vikramatunga's making a film about the assassination of his brother Lasantha.
Oh, great!
Yes.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Good, well kept secret. You heard it the first time here.
Oh
on
my
Newsline.
goodness! Yes, okay. All right.
Uncle Chandan did Matthew Paris, right?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So, this film is. Do you think it'll cause controversy? Solar eclipse. Does it threaten to eclipse all the diplomatic goodwill that Ranil is creating with
Not at all. Not at
Narendra
all.
Modi?
Not at all. It has. I would say that element we can forget about, because it is with reverence that we treat Mahatma Gandhi, and we are a lot of Indians are involved in this film, and our relations with all the Indians, all the very well-known Indians who are on this film, have been very good, and I don't think it will foster any.
And at the end of that film, is it possible to ask a member of the Gandhi family how they feel about it?
Well, as I said earlier, the assassination of the Mahatma, we are depicting it as we know it, but it is a conspiracy. It has got nothing to do with the family of the Mahatma. It is a conspiracy that occurred during that time. We are also shooting a scene where Abraham Lincoln is assassinated, because that is a comparison.
Can't you do one on Mr. Bandanayake, because then we can come to the bottom of this. It was a deal. I think somewhere I read that it was something to do with the shipping deal. And well, the late Prime Minister wasn't willing to play ball.
Well, once again, there are so many theories.
Right.
So many theories. But I think it is time that, I think the time is right for the Bandanayake assassination story. I think enough time has gone by. And I think the government...
What's the budget? How many million?
Oh, a film like that?
Yeah?
Maybe...
the reviewers and investors out there...
Okay, maybe $5 million?
$5 million. There you go, Mr. Ratnam. Call him and send him the money.
Yes, I'll take it.
Chandran, so the future is looking bright.
Very bright, I think.
And we wish you well. I hope that you will spearhead a campaign to save and develop the site of where Bridge on the River Kwai was
that
built.
we must definitely do, and I hope our viewers will also join me in protesting anything to all the ideas about blasting the rock on which the Bridge on the River Kwai was built, and also depriving the whitewater rafters of their wonderful place.
Thank you very much, Chandran Ratnam, for being on Newsline. Appreciate your presence. Thank you, Bandula. You are your own master. You make your own future. On that note, I wish you a very good morning. Have a great day. Take care and God bless.
Newsfirst, Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.